So last week's episode, we had Ryugi leave the team of the Gozyugers as he's off to do other things, and at the end of that episode, we were slightly introduced to our brand new upcoming Yellow Ranger, Asum, I believe their name is, who is a prince from another planet who has a love of tea. And as soon as he's introduced within this episode, he's taken away. So, yeah, that was some introduction for our brand new Yellow Ranger, and I do wonder where the show is going to go moving forward with our brand new Yellow Ranger jobbed out already. He's taken out already by Ray, so where the hell do we go from here? So, like I said, last week's episode, you had Ryugi leaving the team. He's off doing his own thing. I have an idea where he's probably going to go with next week's episode trailer, but we're introduced to Asum, who's an alien from another planet who has a love for tea, and he's collecting all the rings so that way people can happily enjoy tea. Now, while also in this episode going on, we've got the monster of the week, which is a mochi monster who took over Horu's boss in this week's episode. So there's a mochi competition going on between Horu and this monster of the week, and their design is kind of terrifying. It's a giant like mochi rabbit, I will say that, and they look kind of terrifying. I will say that on some shots they do close up. Now, there was some fun gags in this week's episode, like Asum sort of going around to the tea stores and he's sort of taking stuff and not paying for it, and then the other rangers have to cover him. You've also got the bad guys, because it's the third annual Bride and Mochi pounding contest. So you have this scene where they're trying to pound the mochi, and then they make fun of Kyun, who's they say he's too uptight to do this, and then he ends up pounding it really fast. Pause. And that's the fun little gag. But there's also like visual gags within that thing where they're talking about the mochi, and you see Tega June's like little door open up and she's just watching from afar. Like you think that she's going to say something, a big booming voice is going to say something, but no, she was just like weirdly watching everyone and not really saying anything in the episode. So with this episode, like I said, you've got Asum, who's trying to find the rings. You have some fun gags where he's sort of looking for rings, but he's getting in the way of people. And then eventually he ends up coming around and helping the other rangers out in the end. And he ends up joining the team. So it looks like throughout the episode, he was trying to find his place within the team, which it looked like he looked down on all the other rangers, but now he's going to be part of the team members and he's going to protect them, but he's going to need protecting himself. So the episode ends on a really interesting note where it's nighttime, you've got Asum walking around, and you soon have Ray coming out as Zenkaiser Black, which I will say, how they shot this scene with like Zenkaiser Black within like the darkness and the little lighting they did with the street lamps looked really freaking menacing with that suit. I mean, I've never seen Zenkaiser Black look so menacing before, and how they did it here, it's pretty freaking awesome because, you know, Zenkaiser Black, you know, he was this hero in Don Brothers. But here, with like the lighting they did with Zenkaiser Black, it actually made him look really like menacing. But Ray, in the end, he ends up easily defeating Asum. He just absorbs him into the ring, and he's gone for good. And it looks like now Ray has the Tyranno ring, so he's the third Yellow Ranger within the Gozyugers. But it looks like with the Calamity ring, the Calamity from episode 0 that we learned about that I kind of forgot about, it looks like he's serving under that with the Calamity ring. So he's collecting all the other Gozyuger rings, which is going to be his goal. So it looks like Ray is probably going to be the big major threat within the show if he's working with the Calamity that Tegasword tried to defeat all those years ago before like sacrificing all the other Megazords, all the other mechs. So we'll see where that's going to go. But yeah, having our brand new Yellow Ranger show up and get defeated at the end of the episode is a twist I did not see coming. I was expecting this brand new Yellow Ranger to stick around much longer, especially with what they've done with the opening, where they basically removed Ryugi from the opening, and they do it some tricky cuts here and there, like they have the CG model of Bear Kuma sort of like hovering over him, and the shots where they're doing the dance and they're doing the sort of like the still, the cutouts. They've got one big giant cutout that's in the way of Ryugi, which is kind of funny with how they did the editing for that. So they did some really tricky editing and really fun editing tricks to get Ryugi out of the opening, which was fascinating within itself. So I do wonder how long that's going to last. But with Assam now gone, he's not going to be the second Yellow Ranger on the team. He's now dead or trapped within the void, wherever he went. Looks like we won't be seeing him for a while. And then Ryugi, who looks like they're probably going to come back next week, because the whole episode preview is they're going to the hospital that his dad works at, which is something that we learned about all the way back at the start of the series, and it looks like that's where Ryugi went. He went to work at the hospital with his father. So we'll see where that's going to go. So I'm hoping that Ryugi doesn't join the team at the end of next week's episode, and we'll see where that's going to go. Because with Ray being a powerful force that he is, and now that he's got one of the rings, I can see where they're probably going with that character, where he's going to be stealing everyone else's main rings and taking their powers away. And that's probably where the final arc is going to go with this show. But overall, this was a fun episode of Gozyuger. Wacky, silly, goofy fun. Introduced to a brand new ranger with a twist I did not see coming. So we'll see where that's going to go moving forward with next week's episode. But yeah, Gozyuger continues to be a really fun show to tune into every single week. And we'll see where that's going to go moving forward. So with that said, I'll bring this review to a close. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out, take care, bye.